Hey guys, welcome. It's another Friday, so we're here.
Yes, sir.
So how's your week been?
All over the place.
You doing fine? You doing okay?
Yeah. Well, life and
That doesn't give me confidence in your week.
yeah. But how about yours?
Really painful and really difficult.
Mm.
I mean, uh, uh, right now I already did 14 interviews in 3 days.
Why so
Yep.
many?
Huh?
So why so many?
I know. After one of my independent wrestling friends, I did an interview with him. He he passed it along, and then I got contacted by other independent wrestlers,
And you're like, shoot, I'll get you guys all done in one day.
and then I got in contact with the independent promotion, and they asked me if I could interview all their talent. So
Oh,
I've been doing interviews like rapid fire for the past 4 days, and I still have 89 more to go.
you're
Yeah,
busy as hell, man.
so you guys are gonna get a lot of content this summer. I'm telling you.
Good, because the off season's gonna feel long for them, especially the non basketball fans.
So yeah, so what do you want to talk about first? We have two topics today. Your Milwaukee Bucks and my Green Bay Packers rumor.
Well, and we also have the Super Bowl to talk about.
Yeah, the
I
crappy
did not. And then here's we go. I did not watch.
I did, and it was crap.
That's the reason why I didn't watch, is because I knew it was gonna be bad.
It
So,
was only one sided. It was all Seahawks.
and the team I thought was gonna win won. So, did I want any of these two teams there? No, but
It's you know what? It's been a weird season.
this also proves that the Packers were Super Bowl contenders. We just were never healthy at the end of the season. So you can't even argue that, because
Yeah, yeah.
those teams were not Super Bowl contenders at the Super Bowl.
No,
The
no, no,
Patriots or
no,
Seahawks
no,
should not have been there.
no. Seahawks should have been there. They had the number one defense, and that offense was in the top 10.
Okay, yeah, but honestly, no one expected them to be that good, though. That's what I'm saying. Like,
All I was saying about the Seahawks is I really don't trust one person on that team, and that is a very important piece to that team, and that was Sam Darnold. That was the only guy that I did not believe in. He would crumble in big games.
and he still didn't play that well either.
But man, that number one defense. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That
I hate that I keep seeing like ads and commercials about Sam Darnold, and so many YouTube videos talking about how Sam Darnold. I'm like, guys, it's a team sport, bro. Like, I'm only seeing stuff right now about Sam Darnold when it was their defense that carried them the whole season.
yeah, but when you talk about football and the football team, nobody cares about the defense. They only look at the main important part of that team. And every team
See,
has
and that's as much as people want to say that quarterback's the most important part of it. I just
it
disagree.
is.
You could have the greatest quarterback and never win a championship. I just think that's such a wrong way and such a wrong, weird thing that football fans have always done. Because again, you could put Tom Brady on any Packers team that Aaron Rodgers has. and he still wouldn't win a championship. I think either. Like I just think it's such a team sport.
But it goes in with the
I get that the team revolves around the quarterback in that way, but again, how many times do you see it? I even use like the stereotypical like movie thing where they talk about like quarterbacks or whatever. Like that, even that's not even like a real thing. A lot of times it's like it was like a wide receiver or a running back or a linebacker. Like yeah, the quarterback was the guy, but like they were never like the heart or centerpiece of the team like that. Really,
yeah. But name a team that won a Super Bowl with a crappy quarterback.
Seahawks.
Are you kidding me, dude?
No, Sam Darnold's not bad. That was a joke. Um,
I can only think of one team, and that was way back in the 2000s, and it was Trent Dilfer with the
yeah, I'm
Baltimore.
saying though is like again, when have we seen besides? I can't even say that year. I'm not. All I'm saying is you're never gonna see a quarterback just carry a team like that. Like if as much as people say Aaron Rodgers, no, because we had that was the best defense the Packers had when we won the championship. So like, I think
Mm,
defense.
Not, yeah, but you don't remember in that Super Bowl
Oh, I know we
we
were hurt, but like,
we lost the soul and the leader
I
of
didn't
that
forget anything,
defense.
Jay. I know what happened in that game.
So
I'm saying, but I'm saying to get there, I just disagree hard with when NFL analysts and people say that yes, the quarterback is
but
franchise cornering thing, but you're never going to win a championship unless you can get pieces around that defensively and offensively. That's just how
but
it is.
but if you get all that stuff around the quarterback, and the quarterback is
If
not,
you could just get a mid quarterback, you still have a better chance of winning the Super Bowl than with bad players and then a great quarterback.
I agree. I'm gonna agree.
Last year, because he is a mid quarterback. I mean, he's not bad. And mid, I'm not even saying is a bad thing. People need to get that
I,
shit out of their head. Mid is average. Average is good. Average is
I,
really
I,
good. But
yeah,
like
I would put Sam Darnold up there in the top 15.
when we are in the most mid era of quarterbacks in the NFL.
And you know who shouldn't have been at the Super Bowl? The Patriots. All
Oh
year.
yeah, that's for sure. That's what I said. But I said both teams shouldn't, and I still stand in it. I think the Seahawks are good, and even if they're number one seed, I still don't think they're a Super Bowl caliber team. Again, this is all, of course, proven wrong because they're both for the Super Bowl. But you guys
Yeah.
get what I'm saying, like the hype, the
Well,
expectation, the aura that teams have.
well,
The Seahawks or the Patriots don't have aura. Like
the
that
only
is, I guess, a very dumb thing to, I guess, not bring, but you get what I'm saying. The
yeah.
swag, the fearness of like, yeah, that's a Super Bowl team. Like again,
Well,
the
no,
Packers,
no,
Eagles, Chiefs, even Bills, like they have aura to them, you know. Even
not this year.
well, yeah, they still did. People thought the Eagles were going to win, you know.
Eagle.
Hey,
Yeah,
you were comparing the Packers and Eagles a lot, so
yeah, the Packers could never beat the Eagles, even when we had a healthy team.
well, the Eagles barely beat us every single time. They only beat us literally by one possession every single loss we've lost against them.
But
We've
but
never
we
ever gotten blown out by the Eagles.
but
And
we
again,
still
most of the time that we lost to the Eagles was because of our least favorite thing that we all can agree on was our special teams being ass.
but a loss is a loss.
Yes, and a win is a win that you don't give us credit for. Anyways, yeah, I just think that this was a very
But you know what? But
mid.
I got to be honest. After the Super Bowl, I did a video on the recap, and the first thing I did before we got started on that video was I had to apologize to Sam Darnold. I've been cracking on this guy all year long, going, he's gonna be the reason that the Seahawks are not gonna make the Super Bowl because he's gonna crumble in the biggest game, and he kind of proved me wrong. So,
Oh yeah, again, I don't think Sam's awful whatsoever, but I also don't think he's as great as people are now praising him. I think there should be a good balance of giving him respect, showing that he rose above adversity, which I'm going to give him his flowers for. But
but like,
again, when they were on their little stints, a lot of the time Seahawks fans that were in there did blame him a lot of the time, or when
yeah,
they had slight injuries on their defense. He's
but
consistent
right,
enough and he's good enough to get there, and that's what they did, and they won the
but
championship.
right, yeah, but right now he's he's gonna be he's he. We gotta say he's better than Jordan Love and the other quarterback. Hey, Jordan Love couldn't do it with his team. He doesn't have a Super Bowl ring.
Yeah, we also had 16 players hurt. Like,
Yeah, but that's football. It goes like, and you gotta say he's better than Brock Purdy.
no, because you didn't say that with Jalen Hurts. No one was calling in praising Jalen Hurts, and they won the Super Bowl last year. Are you crazy? I'm not gonna do that for Sam. No, hell
Everybody
no.
was praising Jalen Hurts,
No one was praising Hurts to saying he's the best quarterback in the league. They were still putting Mahomes and Lamar Jackson above him, and even Josh.
but he.
No, he did not, Jay.
Oh crap!
I can't even believe I'm
What
fighting
happened?
for an Eagles player right now. But the league and fans did not show him the respect like that. Though they're just supposed to crown Sam now, and you didn't crown the dude last year. No, I'll give them that they're the champions and they're crowned in that way. But as a number one QB, no. Even Matthew Stafford wasn't crowned a number one QB when he won the Super Bowl for the Rams. People gave him his flowers and were happy for him finally, and gave him his career flowers, but no one was calling him the best. What? No, that's an NBA mindset right there. When someone wins MVP, they're considered the best player in the league. But I don't even stand on that. I think that is weird. You're the best teams, you know, one of the most valuable players. But shoot, Shea won last year, and people still thought Joker and Giannis are still above him. But at that time, he was the most valuable player to his team.
True.
That's why I said context in sports really, really matters. That's why I don't like that the NBA is becoming a highlight league that Adam Silver says. So now people refuse to watch full games and they're not getting context of players. Can you see, was the other team actually being disruptive and playing good defense on this guy who normally scores or yada yada? Like that's what sports are about. You got to look at the context. And the context is Sam Darnold's good enough to get a team to the championship, which is proven because they won. But I don't think he's good enough to get crowned number one when it comes stat wise, carrying wise, and I even saying just taking over wise. Now I will. Oh, I can't hear you, Jay. No, I can. The only reason I know you're talking because your lips moving.
Can you hear
I
me?
can hear you now.
Okay.
But and then again, I don't think I agree with this. I think Jordan Love is the more talented quarterback and has the more better potential as it is with their age is already kind of there. But yeah, Jordan Love had a higher hurdle, I think, to climb than Sam did. Sam's team is way more well rounded than the Packers. I'd say the Packers' offense is a little more stacked, but I just think again the Seahawks are a more balanced team than the Packers, so that gives them an edge. And again, Sam Darnold is not ass whatsoever, and you give him a decent enough team, he's gonna work with it. He proved it with the shitty Vikings, and I think that's why I was a little bit shocked when they got rid of him because the Vikings still had a decent defense and a good O line, and yeah, they had Aaron Jones and Jefferson, but if they literally got a couple more pieces, they would have been. Sorry, Vikings fans, but y'all probably would have been the ones here this year if y'all kept him. But
Not really,
thankfully, I think so. They were decent enough last year enough where they could have been sneaky. And
but
then you
they're
get some more, and then they use the draft picks that they got. They did get better this year, piece wise, not as a team. They couldn't put it together, but piece wise, they were better. And I think if you again have a solid QB back there, they would have gone on the run, especially since our division was so wide open. You know, especially
Yeah.
with the Lions and Packers being injured, and then again the Lions got healthy at the end of the season. But like again, the Packers in the last last no 3 games of the season, and then the playoff game, we were missing 13 to 16 players. So, and there's not a lot. Again, that's not a too excuse. You got to try and do what you do, but that's a lot. That's a big high. That's a big hill to climb for the Packers. That I
Yeah.
feel like the Vikings and Bears were would be the two that would be fighting it out instead of
Hmm.
the Bears and Packers. But I don't know. I'm excited to see what the Seahawks do. I don't think they can repeat. I think that I finally think the NFL has reached their era with the NBA now, where you guys are not going to know who's going to win the championship the next many years.
Well, let me ask you, what would you say about Sanders if he did take the team to the Super Bowl again next year? And
And he did it
one of
more
the
in like a actual like open leadership role, like obvious for everyone to see. Like in that aura, that swagger, and that's not all what it's all about. But that's just the only word right now and way I can think of. You know what I mean? Like he just has that confidence. Like yes, I am that guy now. This is my team. We can do it together. It was, and again, I think that you don't really need that, but I just think that would be the next step for him. I said now he came over the adversity. Now he got and proved people wrong. Now he needs to prove to people that he can hold that and will stay in that. So I'll take this. I'll agree with you that he's in the top 15 for sure. Now this is the run for him to go after the crown with Patrick Mahomes, with Jalen Hurts, with Josh Allen, with
no, no,
Jordan Love, with all those guys.
you cannot put Josh Allen in the same category with Super Bowl winning QB.
Yeah, you can. He's one of the best quarterbacks out there. I don't care. I don't care, Jay. I don't, Jay. We're not gonna. I'm not gonna waste time arguing about this. I don't care. I just think that's just a bad take. He's one of
Yeah,
the elite quarterbacks in the league when it comes to stats. They're in the playoffs every year, and they make it
but how
far
many?
most of the time. I
Yeah,
don't
but
care if they haven't
how many
won
Super Bowl?
one. He's still one of the highly respected QBs out there, and he's one of the elite quarterbacks, and he's an MVP caliber quarterback. Didn't he win the MVP this year
Matt
or last
Stafford
year?
did.
Didn't he win last year?
Last year, even Mark Jackson did, but I wouldn't put it up there with Sam Darnold either.
Yeah, I would. I
They
just think that's
couldn't
a
make
bad
it. Lamar Jackson had a great defense when they made
and
it to
he
the
didn't even make
AFC
the playoffs this year, and
Championship.
he's still up there. I get he's hurt, but like Josh Allen's team was hurt as well.
But wouldn't that be an excuse? Like you got, if you're one of the elite QBs, you got to put the team on your back.
No, because that's a, again, it's a flip floppy and scenario case standpoint when it comes to quarterbacks. You can't
And,
say, oh, one quarterback is an excuse for injuries and they're not playing there, and then the other quarterbacks don't. And I'm still not going to flip flop that because you still need the team to perform at 100% in even keel to really prove that. That's what I'm
but
saying. You can give them their flowers, but also say, like, hey, they don't deserve the number one spot to get crowned.
that's where we differ.
Well, that's what I'm telling you. Like,
Yeah,
that's what I said. I'm not going to change my opinion on that. That's just,
yeah, that's your opinion, and I respect your opinion.
yeah, I just don't. I think the reason I don't like it is because I think it's a waste. That's just a waste of a rank. Why? Okay, so a rookie quarterback can have a stacked team come out and just stats wise be just a little below average, but the rest of the team is still gonna, and he wins a Super Bowl, then he's better than everyone else.
For
No, that's
that
not.
year,
That's foolish. That is
for that
foolish
year,
of a take. Because no, he wouldn't be. Yes, they're the best team because they won the championship, but he's clearly not the best quarterback. And that's what I'm trying to tell you to distinguish the difference. You can still give Sam Donald his damn flowers for helping his team get to the Super Bowl, but he's not the reason he's there. And he did not take the league by storm. He wasn't showing off. He was not showing off. He wasn't showing up and out on stats. He would still win games and still get outplayed by the other quarterback. So I'm not going to give him the number one status as the best quarterback in the league. That's just the fact. He's not the best quarterback in the league. Is he a good quarterback on the best team in the league right now? Yes,
but
100%. But he's not the best quarterback.
he was the leading QB for yards and touchdowns this year alone. At any other quarterback this year, he had 35
Yes,
touchdowns
but the
and 12
conversation of the list of elite
interceptions.
quarterbacks was over the years. And that's what I'm saying. This year, he is the mid quarterback.
Yeah, and I'm talking about you got it just for this year, his Super Bowl year,
But again,
2025 and
he didn't
2026.
win the MVP. Matthew Stafford did. So I would consider him the number one QB.
But didn't that,
I'm just saying that's just my point, Jay. As I just don't agree with you giving him the number one slot when he's not an MVP, when he
but
didn't win the
how,
MVP.
but how, so you will put Matt Stafford above Sam?
Yeah. Matthew Stafford, one, has proved it longer and played more consistently. I'm not saying Sam can't eventually do that.
But in the NFC Championship game, who beat who? Sam Darnold beat the
Yes,
MVP, I
but again,
believe.
it's not. It's 11-11, dude. That's what I'm saying. I just disagree with the NFL and fans giving all the damn credit to one man when there's 53 dudes on the roster. And then the whole point again of he wasn't the MVP of this league this year. Yes, he helped get the best team to the Super Bowl and they won.
But
But
what?
he has not he has the reason why he's been on what 6 or 7 different teams is because was not consistent his whole career. And that's my point of saying, yes, I can agree with you. This season, leading in stats, leading touchdowns in that way, fine. But he still
Yeah,
doesn't have like
but I'm just talking about this year. You gotta
I
put it.
still wouldn't crown him number one if he didn't win the MVP.
But the
He
MVP,
won the better championship in my eye. He won the better award, the
yeah,
championship.
yeah,
But
he won
again,
the better trophy.
but again, we had it where Tom Brady was winning championships and then Aaron Rodgers was winning MVPs, and people were still giving Aaron Rodgers that he's the better quarterback. So I'm not going to just stop and change the trajectory because it fits for this one guy who no
No,
one really cared about, proved everyone wrong, and now he's going to say that he's the best. No, I'm still going to hold it that he's up
I,
there now.
I'm
Like you
not.
said, in the top 15.
I think
He's not the 15th, but he's definitely in there.
I'll put it in like about maybe 11 or to 12.
Okay, see, so you're
Range.
agreeing with me now. So we're on the same point. Yes, I don't think he's. Yeah, he's definitely. If there's anybody who says Sam's ass, they don't know football whatsoever.
Yeah.
They don't know. He's not bad whatsoever. But I won't argue with someone saying that he's not the best.
Yeah, yeah. All
Yeah,
right, let's
yeah.
get into the topic. I need to go in a little while. I have something to do today.
The Bucks are back. I told y'all I love being right.
Wait a minute, wait a
I'm not
minute.
going to be humble about this because I've been saying it since the finals of last year that Giannis
Uh,
isn't going anywhere and the Bucks weren't going to trade him.
uh, uh,
And your boy was right. I was right. I'm not going to be humble about this. I'm going to be very annoying about this because it annoyed the fuck out of me.
yeah,
So
but can I get my 2 cents in?
nope, because the Bucks and Giannis said 33 times since the NBA Finals of last year that they're not going anywhere, and that's
No,
not excluding the another 8 years that they both said they don't
no,
want
no.
to. Giannis on Instagram post said that his dad, who died a couple years ago, is buried in Milwaukee. All of his kids were born here. He made a team here, and with the new second apron, no mid-level or bench player is going to get a max contract that they used to when Chandler Parsons got paid. Was it like $100 million to be a bench player? They didn't play for years because of that second apron. Players now and most will maybe get $15 million. So now you're gonna get players who are in the mid tier or against bench players for 5. And the
Yeah,
reason why the
but
NBA has gotten so much younger is because veteran players want that much money, and these teams now, because of the second apron, can't do that. So they're targeting more younger contracts, so they don't have to pay these players that much, so they can finally make roster spots and
yeah,
moves.
but let me ask you a question though. You told me that you had it with the NBA. You're not gonna watch
Oh, I
any
don't
more.
watch any basketball besides the Bucks. Really,
Oh, so you still do watch the Bucks?
I told you I still was watching the Bucks. I told you I don't watch other NBA games.
I was gonna. So yeah. So how many game winning streak is this right now?
We're on a
And how many?
we're on a 2 game winning streak, but we won out of the last 6 games, we won 5.
And how many games are left?
I think that's like 50 or 49.
See, that is why I did not get into basketball. There's
No,
too
that's
many.
why I like basketball because see, your season's over already, and you gotta wait, and now another what 6 to 8 months before it comes back. I don't
But
not. And
man,
even when my sport disappears, I only gotta wait 3 months, pretty much 3 to 4 months before it
yeah,
comes back.
but that is a wrong. That's why I can't even get into baseball because baseball has like more than basketball, right?
164, I think.
Yeah, so I'm like, dang, can't you guys shorten the season?
No, I think I would be. I hate that argument to shorten basketball. No, I think it'd be dumb.
I
If you
mean,
shorten the league, then no one can ever again catch up to the records that are there that are broken to get broken or ever that. These guys had 82 games to get 3-point scoring records, and then now you take that away. Now you'll never see anybody break any record in the NBA. That's
the
such a dumb rule for people who can't keep attention to something. I think that's making up for laziness of attracting and again with phones and all that stuff. I get that people's attention has gone down, but we shouldn't be feeding into that
yeah,
as like
but
a species.
don't you think that's making people turn away from these sports? Because
Then it's not for you. Simple as that. Not
like there's
everybody needs to be anything. That's why I get mad at the NFL and NBA for trying to appease casuals instead of their enthusiast fans. Because I'm sorry, if you don't care enough to get into something passionately, like again, you can get something casually. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm a casual when it comes to certain things as well. But I don't
yeah,
have an
yeah.
emotional connection to where I want that company to bow down to my wants. I'm just gonna watch the thing casually. The NBA and NFL cares way too much about what casual fans think that they will not give a fuck about what their diehards think. It's the opposite of like gaming. When gaming companies don't care about what their consumers think, but they care about what their pro players think with these esports, and it's backwards. I think you should care about the people who truly are spending the most time on your stuff instead of
Yeah,
the people who are just tuning in here and there because
but
they don't care that much. You can care, but they're not going to care as much. They're not going to get invested as much. They're not going to put so much time in it. And I just think these last couple of years, the NFL and especially the NBA have been giving a huge middle finger to people like me and you, where we care and we put this, and they'd rather get the guy who just or just a family who just gets together. And there's nothing wrong with people enjoying sports, but those are not the people that the leagues should be bowing down to. And I think that's why sports are such in weird aspects of stuff where now casuals think that they're diehards and you're getting really bad Stephen A. hot takes.
so right now, where are the Bucks
Or I think we're
slotted?
11th. So we're 1 spot out of the playing tournament, and then we're 4 spots out of the official playoffs. But
Okay.
uh, I'm pretty sure though we're only like I can look just to make sure I'm
Uh,
right, but I'm pretty sure it's
I'm gonna tell you. I think I have about another 10 minutes before I have to go.
well, I'm just telling you this because
Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry about the time, Kenton, but
yeah, Jay's been really bossy today, guys.
I have a doctor's appointment today that I can't miss. I need
Bro, why is this loading so long?
I need to get the paint injection. While you look for
I
that,
got it.
uh,
So our standings are we're 12th
okay,
in the East, 2 games out, and literally if the Bucks can win, like go on an 8 game winning streak, where we would be the 6th seed and into the
okay,
playoffs. So as much as the NBA and as much as the ESPN and the mainstream media wants to make it doom and gloom for the Bucks, if we literally go on another winning streak or keep winning how we are, we'll literally be in the playoffs with
okay,
no ease. So again, even though I was saying the 6th seed, that's all the way to the 4th seed that we're only technically 9 games behind
okay.
with about 50 to 40. I'll say 50 to 45 more games to go.
All right, nice, nice.
So I think stuff is coming up for the Bucks, and the reason why is because we got Cam Thomas from the Brooklyn Nets and Usman Deng from the Oklahoma City Thunder. He dropped 19 points, 11 rebounds yesterday against his old team. Cam Thomas, I think, had 12 points yesterday, but the game before that, he had 34 in his second game with the Bucks. So, and
Okay,
then Giannis, they said should be back after sometime after All Star break, which is right now.
okay.
So,
All right, cool, cool, cool.
yeah, that's how the thing is. That looks like the Bucks are back, turned it around. Giannis again isn't going anywhere, and then he came out. His brother came out, by the way, after all the noise, and said his agent never talked to anybody, and Giannis and then Thanasis said that we are his team. He's talking about him, his agent, because Thanasis does help. Thanasis was the reason why Giannis the contract. Oh my god, the contract Giannis is on right now. He gave credit to Thanasis for convincing him to stay. And Thanasis said that he doesn't know where this stuff is coming from. And they are actually now getting angry because they said it's disrespectful to Giannis and everyone else that they keep lying on his name and putting him in a situation. And you guys can go watch that on Thanasis' podcast if you don't believe me. So his own brother said that they don't know where this is coming from. Giannis never, ever, ever, I guess, asked to get traded, and the Bucks didn't even come to him. So it's all hoopla and lies, and it's really embarrassing by ESPN. Truly is. And this is. I understand. I have a people will say I have a bias to hate them because of the stuff they do to my city, but this is literally me. Like like people should be done with it and actually should be up in arms with how much Shams has just made this hysterical hoopla of nothing. When you have the man's own brother and then getting the okay from his agent to say it finally, and then Giannis putting legends, and then Giannis posting on his Instagram, I mean, on his Twitter, legends don't chase, they attract. The thing I've been saying, why would he leave a team that in the city he helped build to go be in the same situation? Because casual fans, and this is the reason I was bringing up casuals, because they don't understand the second apron thing. If Giannis leaves, his contract's too big. He would have to take a pay cut, which he's not going to do. And a lot of teams don't have the draft capital either. The Bucks we have our first round pick and our second round pick this season that we can either trade to try and get another player or actually hopefully draft well and develop those young guys. Because the Bucks are one of the youngest teams now on the NBA. So that proves again what the inconsistency is. And my theory I think is right that the reason why we were playing so bad is because all of our young guys probably thought they were going to get traded before the deadline, and now that the deadline's passed, we won 5 out of the 6 games since the deadline. It's just again, I know basketball too much. You see these patterns too much, and every single basketball player says it's a mental game. And yeah, I just think the Bucks mentally weren't in it. Now that they know that they're solidified for right now and can't get traded, now they're playing together. They're passing the ball more. There's more flow. There's more energy. The Bucks were not playing like that literally 2 weeks ago. So that's just how it is. Don't believe Shams. Shams needs to either get fired or he needs to really, really start proving himself again because it's truly embarrassing. I think he's a pathetic person. When it comes to like journalism, Shams is pathetic. If he sees this, you're pathetic. Like, do better, dude. Just trying to get clicks and views for attention, disfamming not only a player and the trust with fans, but shitting on a city that you never come to. Like, come over here, eat, dude. You'll see how great the people are. Stop shitting on Milwaukee. Like, that's just how it is. Now that was me being personal and biased, and then bias street. But everything else, yeah, just don't. You get ESPN needs to do better. I just know what sports fans stop paying attention to ESPN. Go to channels like us. There's so many independent people that just stay away from them. They don't care besides clicks and views. They don't care about the sport. They don't care. They just care about money and their intention for how many clicks and traffic they can get to their channels.
Well, I got to be honest with you. Some of these YouTubers also they lie about stuff so they can get the clicks and views. Also, I'm not saying that we do that. We don't do that here.
We might argue for clicks and views, but that's pretty much
Yeah, yeah.
it.
Yeah, you gotta call me out on it, don't you? Can't do
Yeah,
it.
especially those 6 weeks this season you put me through.
I just think we're not. The Packers do not look like a Super Bowl team. And I was
And
right.
I was telling you that's the old way of thinking. Again,
I was
this is
right.
fine. You were so used to years and years of the same pattern. And then trust me, that's how cut off guard I was the first year when the NBA switched to now you don't know who the hell's gonna win the championship. Literally, Jay, you could probably say the Oklahoma City Thunder are, but I truly don't know who's gonna win
No,
the
no,
NBA
no,
championship
no.
this
But
year.
let
And
me
I
ask
love
you.
that. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. We didn't know
I,
who was gonna win the championship last year. We didn't know who was gonna be before that, and the year
but
before that,
I
and the
told
year
you.
before that, and the year before that, and the year
I
before that.
told you the Packers do not look like a Super Bowl team.
I
And
still
what
believe you.
happened? I was
I'm
right.
I'm telling you, I'm telling you, Jan.
I
If we
was
had Mike
right.
Parsons and we were healthy,
I,
I think we would have been at Super Bowl.
you
I will shave my head and get a tattoo on my life.
I,
I think that
I,
if the Packers were healthy, because of the landscape of the NFL, we would have won in the
no, no,
playoffs. We would
no,
have
no.
won.
You can say that now.
We would have beat the Bears,
No,
beat
no,
the
but
Rams.
yeah, but you can say that now because the season is
No,
over.
I was saying if we had our podcast last week before the Super Bowl, I would have said that. That's why I was disappointed when you canceled it.
All right, let's get into the Packers real quick. The rumors around the Packers this year. The biggest rumor is that we are not re-signing Romeo Dobbs, so he's going to test out the free agency market. And the rumor is that the Packers are going after George Pickens. I have no idea why people are
I'd
saying
rather
this.
Romeo Dobbs instead of going after George Pickens. That's
It's
really
like,
dumb.
give me a break. We don't need George Pickens. We really don't.
Yeah, I don't know. If I'm Romeo Dobbs and I hear that, I don't want us to resign. But I want him to resign because I'd rather have. Okay, Jay, I'm gonna say this out because I know you're gonna ask already. If this is another Jair not it's not the same situation, but the same thing of just like, oh, we have too many wide receivers. We're gonna get one just to get another one that also does. Sorry, you see how flustered I'm getting already. It doesn't make no damn sense to get rid of a guy who knows the team, has high class, and has
But,
good chemistry with our quarterback to get a
but
new guy who has a questionable personality, has inconsistency in his play, and who doesn't know the team of the playbook. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to
well,
go through that horse again. Just resign Romeo Dobbs and let's do it.
well, well, you know how the rumor started about the George Pickens.
Well, it's because of
It's
the whole Micah Parsons Super Bowl thing, talking to him, trying to get him there.
yeah,
And that's
yeah.
cool. That's fine. That's fine, right? But no, I'm sorry. George Pickens can kind of go suck it. I'm sorry. I don't. I'm a
but
big high character guy, and I just think that he's too much of a loose cannon. You
and
know.
my point is, you're really gonna pay all that money to George Pickens when you got to go pay your tight end, you got to go pay your other receiver, Christian Watson and that you got to re-sign uh, Josh Jacobs.
I don't
It
know.
doesn't
I
make
just think the Packers should just resign everybody and run it back besides the defense and special teams.
but the the organization, the Green Bay organization, and me are thinking it's gonna cost way too much to sign Romeo Dobbs. He's gonna demand about maybe 16, 17 million
And
a
then
year.
the guy who outplayed him this season, George Pickens, we're gonna pay him.
Yeah, no, that's my point. I don't think that we're gonna. It's just I don't think we're gonna get George Pickens.
I don't think we are, and I don't think we should. Sign Romeo Dobbs, he would be cheaper and he's more reliable to the Packers. I'm sorry, he has had to have a more of a consistent career than George Pickens, anyways. Pickens
So,
has missed games. He had a lot of games. I understand Romeo Dobbs drops balls as well, but Pickens had a lot longer of a streak of dropping balls than Romeo Dobbs is. And he's more clutch, and Romeo Dobbs is more clutch on the third down than Pickens is too, and that's what we rely on. I don't
but
know. I'm letting you know. I think I'm going to say this, and I said this with Jair. If the Packers get rid of Romeo Dobbs, I think we're going to be a worse team. I don't think we're going to be bad, but
I
I
don't
don't
think
think
I don't
offensively
think
we're going to be the caliber we are.
no, I don't think we. I don't think.
All you
Yeah,
got, you keep saying I don't think we can. I'm confident if the
no,
Packers
because
really tried that they could sign him.
yeah,
I don't know if the Packers want to try
but he
anymore.
might get more somewhere else.
And if he
That's
does, then
the
he does. But
yeah,
I'm just
that's
saying
the
the
issue.
Packers need to at least try.
And you know what team might pay a little bit more for Romeo Dobbs with his the defending coach going to the Dolphins?
Yeah, everyone keeps saying Miami. And I've heard it too many times to act like it's something new. He
Uh,
goes to Miami, he goes to Miami. I'm not
yeah,
going
but
like disappointed in that way, but I'm saying the Packers at least need to try and keep this core
yeah,
together.
but guess who the quarterback might be with Romeo Dobbs
I know we've had this conversation before.
in
This is nothing new.
Miami?
I don't think that's gonna. I truly don't really think that's gonna happen, guys. I think Dolphins are gonna
You,
stick with Tua. I do.
you don't think Malik Willis is going to go to Miami? If I was Miami, I would take Malik Willis over Tua Bailoa. I'm sorry. Tua, Tua's shown that he's a worse quarterback than
Well,
Malik
yeah. I
Willis.
just again, as much as it does make sense to have the Heat. I mean, not the Heat. Have the Miami Dolphins done anything that makes sense in the last couple of years? No.
And then not signing Romeo Dobbs makes sense to me for the Packers.
I don't think it makes sense.
We got to get more opportunities too. Our first round pick last year in Golden.
Okay, and then cut Wicks or trade Wicks. I'd
But
rather have. I'm
yeah, but Wicks is still under contract with the Packers.
only for one more year, Jay.
Yeah, but Romeo Dobbs is unrestricted free agent. He can sign with anybody, and
And
we
then
get
the
a
Packers
sec.
should sign him more. He's more reliable and he's better, I think, than
But we have no cap room at all.
again, the Packers have done this in the past before, restructuring contracts, moving stuff around. I'm not going to give the Packers a pass on their lazy ignorance to not try and sign a player. That's you know that you should know that by now, Jay.
And it looks like
Never going to side with the Packers when it comes to the contract thing,
and it
unless it
looks
truly
like
makes sense.
and it looks like that we're getting rid of Rashawn Gary too.
Which
That's
again, I think that's dumb. I think that he should just get
all,
a contract restructure. But
all signs point to Rashawn Gary getting cut.
and all these rumors and decisions just make it sound like the Packers are going to be a worse team next year. It's
But
just how it is. That's just how it's going to be. I'm not gonna.
but you've been saying that for 3 seasons. That every
No, I
time you said
haven't.
that,
I haven't said that for 3 seasons.
when we got rid of Jair Alexander, you go, this team is going to be a worse team than the
And we were
previous
a
year.
worse team than last year than the
How
year
can
he
you
was
say
here.
that if we made the playoffs every single year? We made the playoffs every single year.
Yes, but our defense performed less. McKinney went down. Everything that I said would of the absence of Jair happened. Thankfully, we did pick up Micah Parsons, and that didn't help. But again, McKinney fell off the cliff. He only had one interception this season, or two interceptions this season.
Well, he should have had more, but he dropped those picks.
He dropped two. Only had two more, and that's not almost the 11 he had last year.
But you know how hard it is to get picks in the
And I'm letting
NFL.
you know, five of those he had in a 3 game stance when Jair was healthy. That is
Yeah,
literally,
but
and it's not.
but,
That's not even just me having a bias streak towards the Jair. That's just me looking at the film those games and realizing that the quarterback literally just never threw in Jair's direction and would only throw in the middle of the field where
but you
McKinney
gotta
can
take.
execute. And again, the Packers not having Jair or having any good cornerback right there. The quarterbacks realized that, and guess what? Never threw it really to McKinney's direction this
Yeah,
season. And
but
then our other cornerbacks weren't able to step up and take those advantages.
yeah, but but what quarterbacks were we playing in the games that where McKinney got the picks? He got two off of Will
And
Levis.
but none of those picks were really on his other guys. They were overthrown picks that he was able to run out and catch. A lot of the picks he had last year were because they were in tough coverage, because they were forced to throw it that way because of Jair's close defense on a number one slot guy, or not number one slot guy, but just number one wide receiver from last year. Again, it was only the first couple of games in the start of the season, but it really made a huge impact and gave the McKinney the momentum that he needed. And then the rest of it, because they didn't. And even when Jair was hurt, because everyone else had the mindset of that and weren't always there. When we did see the hot flashes of Nixon and Valentine, it worked, but that's because they weren't getting full snaps all the time. Because the Packers would try and always over and rush Jair back. So again, those guys didn't have that mentality of I'm a number one guy. I am the shit, cockiness that they have now. They had to show that they needed to prove themselves still. So that I feel like those guys had more hunger. Now that Jair's gone and they had his spot, and you already saw Nixon, I'm going to be the best guy. He had that talk. They have the Jair swag without having the Jair play. And it's because of Jair that they have that swagger, which is cool, but you gotta execute on the field. And Valentine or Nixon don't do that, but they talk like the man.
But they did. Those guys look good when we had a pass rush. I'm telling you, that second it looked real good with
Not really.
Michael.
I thought you guys were overhyping them this whole season.
When Michael Parsons could get pressure, the
I
second
still
that
don't think I still think our safeties weren't that good.
and I agree with.
Valentine, when the when Hobbs the 2 games Hobbs played when Michael Parsons was in his streak, Hobbs was awful. He was getting beat all the time, all the time.
Yeah, yeah, and he's gonna be cut also because
No, he's not. They're looking to re-sign him and let him play next year.
that's not what I heard.
Well, yeah, then we're hearing conflicting stuff, but yeah, I heard that they want to keep Hobbs and give him another chance, which I think is dumb.
And right now we're looking at.
Again, I'm saying this because I am and I want the chaos, but Jair wouldn't do it. Shoot, cut Hobbs, and bring Jair back. If you're already gonna have an injured prone safety,
But the guy doesn't
might
want to
as well have
play.
another one.
The guy doesn't want to play anymore.
Oh no, Jair wants to play, but he's taking a break from teams not taking him serious
Yeah, but
and are trying to rush him back. Because
that's another
again,
year.
the Baltimore Ravens were doing the same thing the Packers were doing. They didn't learn from us. The Eagles did, but Jair didn't like that because they lied to him. So,
But that's another year, and you know he doesn't want to play for the Packers anymore after what went down.
well, yeah, I wouldn't want to play for the Packers either. So, and I'm from here.
And now other teams don't want to even touch him.
Well, again, the NFL and the NBA does that where it's their fault for ruining other players' careers, and they don't want to take accountability, and then they annex them. Like Dwight Howard was like that, and he was injured prone now, you know. And then the
But
dude went to China and started averaging 40 points. Like
yeah, but that's China.
China's the second. China has the third best league in the world.
Yeah, but they're not going to be able to compete with the United States basketball athletes. I'm telling you that right now.
No, not in the full on sense, but I was like, Dwight Howard still had game though. You're not getting my point. My whole point is that the NBA annexed him when he still had a lot of game left.
Well, that's in every single league, like baseball, basketball, football, hockey. They all do that. Even in Major League Soccer.
Again, I'm going to be in, I guess, the stubborn thing, even though I think it's the other way around. I'm never going to say that's okay or like allow that. I think the biggest problem with capitalism, sorry to bring in politics real quick, is just how much people are okay with just shit being shit or being a certain way. Again, that's all I'm getting into politics wise. But that runs with sports. These big organizations can keep treating fans and even athletes who are, again, they're getting paid millions of dollars, so I'm not feeling too bad like that. But especially from a fan standpoint, that they can just walk all over people or have these certain things or just just how it is, man. It can be anything and whatever. And people are like, well, this is how it is. Well, if we cared enough and got together like we can get together to watch it, things would get done. But I just think we're too cowardless of a as a
Uh,
whole, not individuals, but as a whole to do something. That's just
yeah.
how it is. I just think people like to comply and live in their comfort, which is nothing wrong. But I think for basic non-life threatening and challenging stuff like sports, that's where I get irritated because I think that's when people can have control and change narratives and do stuff that's outside of like politics.
So, yeah, but going back to the Packers, Brian Gutekunst said that they are going to go all out in free agency this year, and it looks like they might be trading another first round pick away in
Yeah.
2028. So yeah, guys, it looks like we might be getting rid of our 2028 first round pick also to get a big CB, a number one cornerback, and that would be, I think, the cornerback from the not the Raiders, but I think the Seahawks.
Hey, as long as we can get a cornerback, uh, that'd be fine. I just want to say, as much as I do mention Jair, I don't want. It would be nice to see him back, but I don't really want Jair back either. Again, we're past that, but it's cool to always bother you guys with that. But as long
And
as we
don't
can
get,
get a cornerback, sorry, that I think can
yeah,
just
and
replace that type of spot, I think McKinney will thrive again.
and
Um,
it looks like Nixon is on the cutting board.
I think Cobbs needs to get cut for sure before Nixon.
Who's Caps?
Hobbs,
Oh,
Nate Hobbs.
Hobbs. Well, if Hobbs takes a team friendly deal, it could work. And honestly, the Packers been using
Don't deserve to get talked about.
the the Packers are using Hobbs in the wrong way. They're trying to make Hobbs into
But
outside
that's what he said though, and he when he was in
corner,
college, that's what he played. So
but he was more better in the slot
we
in
did though
Oakland.
when we would trade him, well not trade him, but to take places with Bullard, and he would play a slot. He was getting beat. I should have said I just don't think he's good, dude. Raiders fans were telling me that he wasn't good when I asked when the Packers signed him, I said, I don't know anything about him, Raiders fans. What can you tell him? And he said, he comes in sometimes is really good for special teams, but they said when it comes to actually like a clutch defensive moment, he's a liability.
But yeah,
He gets beat a lot. They said so.
but one more thing before I have to go. Don't get mad at the Packers if they do cut Rashad Gary.
Oh, I'm gonna be pissed
You were always pissed about when we got rid of Jair,
because the Packers were in the wrong.
and then we cut Clayton Matthews
I didn't care.
and some other people on the team.
I cared when we got rid of Aaron Jones, and I cared when we got rid of Jordy Nelson, and then I cared when we got rid of Jair.
But look what happened to Jordan Nelson.
Oh no, I knew it was time for us to go, but like before before he went, there was rumors that he was just gonna retire anyways, and I thought the Packers should have signed him for that 1 year before he went, but he played 2 more years.
Yeah, he went to the Raiders and had a great season for 1 year. Then his numbers dropped off.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying it originally was rumored for him to have another 1 year contract with the Packers, but he didn't want that. He wanted 2 years, which he got from the Raiders, and that's why he went there.
But see, the Packers have a track record of getting rid of players 1 year before they fall off.
And as much as they do that, and I know they do that, I do feel like it bites the Packers in the ass because a lot of the times, the year that we do get rid of the players, the league opens up wide open, and if we just kept our team, we're always missing players. When we got rid of Nelson, we didn't have a good we didn't have a good wide receiver for him to throw to. Davante Adams was there, but it took 2 more years before Davante Adams was solidified.
Devontae was there. James Jones was still there.
Nope, that was James Jones' last year before we got rid of him.
Randall Cobb was there.
That was Randall Cobb's second best season.
So yeah,
we had but it wasn't enough. Like it was reminiscence of when Alan Lazard was like our number one QB, and everyone was like, we need a wide receiver.
I got yeah, I got that. I'm sorry to say this, but I gotta go.
No, you're good. So do I. So,
but thanks for watching. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I know I'm hurrying this up, but I need to go real quick. I got something to do. I want to say thank you to Kenton for joining us, but he was about 10 minutes late. But
you pushed back the show.
I was at 125. You came out at 135.
No, I was here at 1:30. You didn't look at the screen for like 5 minutes, and I did go to the bathroom when you're there.
But we're not gonna get into that right now.
Mister canceled the show last Friday for the Super Bowl.
But like I always say, stay safe, stay positive, and always go back out. And we'll see you next week. All right, guys. You have a good one. Bye and peace.